Hello guys, ZPB is here, and welcome to the 4th episode of ZPB Duopolies, where I compare games to one another to see which one's the best and worth getting. Yes, I know that you want me to do Rayman 3, Hoodlum Hagrid vs Alpha Bikini Bob, but since the disc is having problems, you'll have to wait until I get it working or possibly get a new one. In the meantime, I'll be comparing X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse to The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. Let's start with X-Men Legends 2, developed by Raven Software and published by Activision. Now, like its predecessor, X-Men Legends 2 is an action RPG game. If you're unfamiliar with what an action RPG is, it's basically a game where you go around beating up enemies, earning XP or experience to upgrade your character or unlock new moves. As well as picking up special equipment that can increase the character's health or powers. Unlike the previous game, you control one of 4 characters on screen and you can switch them at any point using the direction on the D-pad. Like for example, if I press right on the D-pad I switch to Wolverine, and if I press left on the D-pad I switch to Cyclops, and if I switch up on the D-pad I switch to Magneto. And speaking of Magneto, you can play some of X-Men villains in this game, such as Magneto, as I mentioned, Toad, and Juggernaut. Sadly, Mystique is unplayable for some reason and acts as a non-playable character. Besides the new heroes and the new abilities, nothing has changed much in this game. And the new abilities I mentioned are the Berserker Fury, which essentially replaces the Savage Rampage in the first game, as well as some powers that can make you invulnerable or stronger for a limited amount of time. Then again, not much has changed since the previous game, but it's still quite fun to play to this day, even if it can get a bit repetitive. Well, what is there? Well, there's lots, so let me show you. Like the first game, there are a decent amount of playable characters. As I mentioned before, you can play some villains such as Juggernaut and Toad, as well as Magneto, at the cost of some heroes like Magma and Jubilee. But there are some new X-Men characters who weren't in the first game that are playable here. There's Bishop, who carries a handgun and is really badass. Iceman, no, he was in the previous game. Scarlet Witch and Sunfire. And by completing through the game, you can unlock 3 new characters, such as, I know who these are. I heard you can unlock Professor X, Iron Man, and Deadpool. And like the previous games, there are a lot of costumes in this game. There's Wolverine's classic blue and yellow suit, Gambit's Wastelander outfit, Cyclops' classic blue suit and cowl, or you can even play as Magneto without his helmet. Overall, the character selection screen's pretty nice. Although if you love playing as Jubilee and Magma in the first game, you'll be a bit disappointed, but I'm sure Bishop, Sunfire and Scarlet Witch will make up for it. Well, what else is there? Well, let's see. Now, there are quite a lot of unlockable content in X-Men Legends 2. You can unlock cutscenes, such as a trailer for Ultimate Spider-Man, some comic book covers, some concept art, and some loading screens, and some of these are actually pretty cool. I mean, the loading screen Wolverine looks so awesome. Hang on. Yeah, that looks so awesome. Pretty savage. Jumping in the air. Well, I've talked about X-Men Legends 2 enough. Let's move on. Now that we've talked about X-Men Legends 2 enough, let's look at The Incredibles Rise of the Underminer, developed by Heavy Iron Studios and published by THQ. Now, Incredibles Rise of the Underminer plays very differently from the previous Incredibles game, and similar to X-Men Legends 2, you can switch between characters, which are Miss Incredible and Frozone. However, unlike X-Men Legends 2, you can only control 2 characters on screen, and you can only play as 2 characters, which are, as I mentioned, Miss Incredible and Frozone. Unfortunately, the other Incredibles such as Elastigirl, Dash, and Violet are not playable, as they are separated in the opening cutscene of the game. And similar to X-Men Legends 2, you can gain XP to increase your heroes' powers and health, but unfortunately there are no unlockable costumes, which is a shame because, I mean, I don't remember Frozone wearing another costume other than his street clothes, but I would really love to unlock this Incredibles blue costume from the movie. And something else that's odd about this game is that the first level of the game was adapted into The Incredibles 2. By the way, I can't wait to see that. And the rest is like Miss Incredibles and Frozone's attempt to stop the Underminer. Whereas the first level is like a precursor to the opening scene of The Incredibles 2, which I am so looking forward to see, as I mentioned yet again. Now what's so similar about X-Men Legends 2 and The Incredibles? Well, they both have a big emphasis on combat, and you can switch characters like in X-Men Legends. But the difference is, you can only play as 2 characters on screen, and there's only 2 characters in the game you can control. As I mentioned before, you can't play as the other Incredible family members, which is very disappointing. But I guess I can't complain too much about it since they were separated in the opening cutscene of the game, so maybe I'm not being that harsh towards it. Now, the unlockable content in Rise of the Underminer is pretty underwhelming because you can unlock a gallery. As you can see, mine's empty because I couldn't be bothered to collect any. But I'm sure it's like concept art for the game or like some scenes for the movie in still format. You can also use this cheats option, which lets you get full health, or even funny. You can enter this cheat, which increases Miss Incredibles and Frozone's head, and it looks really funny. I mean, just look at it. Hey Frozone, why is my head so heavy? I don't know, it must be some kind of ego problem. By completing the main story, you can unlock 3 bonus missions, which are Metroville Melee, Furious Frozen Fight, and Mechanical Mayhem. Now, these challenges can boil down to beating up enemies in a time limit, protecting an NPC, or solving a quick puzzle. And some of these can, if you played all the story missions, this can provide a little bit of replay value. And like in X-Men Legends 2, you can unlock can unlock some new powers, such as the super moves, which, like, where Mr. Incredible pounds the ground, damaging enemies around him, or Frozen super moves, where he generates frozen snowballs that rain down on enemies, killing them. Well, what else is there? Well, let's see. As I mentioned, there is a gallery and a cheat menu, but sadly, there's sadly not a lot of unlockable movies. In fact, they're already available from the start. You can watch the trailer for the previous Incredibles game, which is pointless. The Cars teaser trailer, the behind the scenes video of the game, and the trailer for the Incredibles DVD. Well, now which game's the best? X-Men Legends 2. It's a great game with lots of new playable characters, awesome levels, satisfying combat, and new unlockable content. Where sadly, Rise the Underminer is pretty lacking because you can't play as all the Incredible family members. But you can play as Frozone, but there's not a lot of unlockables, which gives you incentive to play the game. Only get Rise the Underminer if you like playing as Frozone. I mean, why the heck not? But personally, get X-Men Legends 2 if you want a great superhero team game on your PlayStation 2. Only get Rise the Underminer if you feel like playing as Frozone. Well, that's the end of this video. Make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. ZPB, signing off.